That only Maya Mohita. Means Maya nicely she'll create so many things, varieties, material advancement, technological advancement, so many things she'll create. And she'll send her agents, like in the form of Swamijis also. They'll come and they'll say, you play football for spiritual advancement. Like that they'll say. All these things, false predictions they'll give. And people will follow and they'll get attached to that. And at the last, what will happen? They fall into ditch. Why? Because they themselves are blind about the spiritual life. First of all, we are blind. Yes or no? About spiritual life. We don't know anything. Then we ourselves following a person who also don't know what is spiritual life. But you may tell, see, Swamiji, you are telling all these things, but he constructed so many hospitals. He's doing food distribution. He constructed hospitals, he's doing food distribution, he's doing some health checkups in the villages, what not. He's distributing, he's constructing houses for the poor. He's distributing clothes for the poor. And he's distributing ingredients, so many things he's doing. Then why he is not an authorized person like that? He's not an authorized person just like because he's doing all these things. Yes, all these things are good for only for the material body. He himself doesn't know what is good for the soul. Because he's doing all these things, he'll get the punya. Because normally, that Swamijis, normally they think that everything is one. Mostly they are impersonalists. And by doing all these things, if they become perfect in impersonalism, they'll go to impersonal Brahman platform. Then they cannot be happy. What they want actually happiness. But after going there, they cannot be happy. Because can you be happy ideally for one day in one room? We'll put in one room and we'll just lock it outside. Then can you be happy? You may say, see, TV is there, that is there, I may be happy. Then we'll lock you for 6 months. Will you be happy? Will you be happy for 6 months? TV is there, all facilities there. Every time, on time, food is coming. You are in one room, you are not coming out. TV is there, video games are, so many things are there. Will you be happy in one room alone? Maybe 6 months one may manage, I don't know. It's a stupid thing. Then after 1 year, what will happen? After 2 years, what will happen? After 5 years, what will happen? Then after 5 years and so, he has to be admitted in a mental hospital. Because one cannot be ideal and he cannot be happy just like that. Those people, they're thinking, you'll become merged and you'll be alone. Then how can we be happy like that? That our acharyas are telling, you'll be associated with devotees. After going to spiritual world also, you'll be associated with the devotees, you'll be doing kirtan, you'll be taking the remnants of God, all these things you'll be taking. Then that gives you happiness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, that's why the happiness, before telling this one, I have to tell one more point. Actually, Rupa Goswami derived happiness into 3 points, 3 happinesses. Happiness derived from the material enjoyment, happiness derived by identifying oneself with the Supreme Brahman, the impersonal Brahma Jyoti, and happiness derived from Krishna consciousness life, devotional service. These are the 3 happinesses available in this material world. The material happiness, it's a temporary. Anybody knows. See, if one food item is giving you happiness, your best food item maybe. If you take that same food item 10 times in a day, will it give the same happiness when you are eating for the first time? No, because material happiness is conditioned. When you are taking first time, it may be happiness. Then second time, it will reduce. After 10 times, after 20 times, after 100 times, then you will need to admit in the hospital. After some number of times, you'll get diseased and you need to admit in the hospital. Any happiness in the material world, it's like that. The people who are addicted to sex life, they'll go to the prostitutes, they'll get a kind of disease. Still they don't bother. They'll apply some medicines and they'll take some medicines. Again, they'll go. But again, the disease will increase like that. It's like that. In material happiness, anything is like that. Then, Brahman happiness, I already explained. For spiritual happiness, there is no end. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Anandambudi Vardhanam. Ananda Ambudi Vardhanam. Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam. Anandambudi Vardhanam. Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam. Means, if a ocean is there an end for ocean? The happiness in the spiritual life, it's ever increasing. Because how we won't be able to see the other end of the ocean, in the same way, there is no end for spiritual happiness. It's increasing, but you don't get diseased. You don't need to be admitted in the hospital and you don't fall down. You don't get fatigue. You don't get anything. That is the spiritual happiness. It's increasing, ever increasing. But material happiness is conditioned and impersonal happiness is subjected. But spiritual happiness is ultimate. So, in the Tantra Shastra, in one of the Tantra Shastra, Lord Shiva is speaking to Parvati like this. My dear wife, a person who has surrendered himself at the lotus feet of Govinda and who has thus developed pure Krishna consciousness can be very easily awarded all the perfections desired by the impersonalists, and beyond this, he can enjoy happiness achieved by the pure devotees. Means, the devotional service combines everything. The devotional service combines what the benefits the impersonalist gets, what the benefits the yogis gets. All these things is you'll just get by doing devotional service. That is very negligible in devotional service. Actually, it is told in the Shastras, in the Satyaloka, the people in the Satyaloka, they are naturally awarded all these yogic powers. Like that, if they think they can create a planet. Very nice, no? They can just create a planet. They can just create a planet which can fly. They can create a airplane which can fly. Like that, so many yogic powers they have got naturally. Like how fish will naturally, it learns the swimming, that much naturally they have got all the yogic powers. And in their lifetime, they'll see, mostly they don't see death. In the Satyaloka people, they don't see death. They don't see misery. Still, they are not happy. Shastra is telling, still they are not happy. Something emptiness is there in their heart. Why? Because material advancement, how much advanced they may be, how much perfections they have got, still it is not complete. The completion comes only with the devotional service. Yogic perfection with devotional service, it becomes the complete. Knowledge with devotional service, it will become complete. Otherwise, knowledge is simply waste. Like that, the Satyaloka people also, they are not happy. Even though after all, they have got so many perfections. Still, they are not happy without devotional service. In that way, Shiva is telling, devotees will get all these things by doing devotional service. All these things simply they'll get like that. And they can enjoy what pure devotees, what they can enjoy, even the devotees who just started their devotional life, they also can enjoy the same way. But little. There is no preventing one's falling down from material happiness. After impersonalists becoming perfect and they'll after merging into the impersonal Brahman, they won't be able to sit idle like that. So what they'll do, they'll again fall down that position Again they'll come to Bhuloka, this material world, and again they'll do the same thing. Again they'll construct the hospitals, again do all these things like that. And they'll be repeating until unless a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada blesses them and brings them to the path of devotional service, it will be repeating for them. So, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling, material advancement knowledge renders a person more foolish. Nowadays we are thinking, so many things we are inventing, so many advancements are coming, but it simply makes a person foolish. Why? More it's becoming foolish. Previously, at least 3 decades back and all, if anybody wants a sense gratification, it is restricted at least. If they want to see a movie, they has to go to theater. Otherwise, they has to bring VCR, something like that, and they has to connect it to their TV. Then they need to bring the cassettes and all for rental. Then only they will be able to see. Nowadays, all these facilities are there in the mobile. In just small set. If you want serials, you can see. If you want movies, you can see. Everything, A to Z. If you want to speak with the person who is there far behind, you can speak. Then previously, they need to book a trunk call. Even from Andhra to Hyderabad, we used to book a trunk call to speak. Then we'll call and please book a trunk call to such and such number. Then they'll tell, yes, we'll book. Then keep the phone. After 10 minutes or 15 minutes, they'll call you. It's ready, you can speak. They'll connect. That much you need to wait. But now, no need to wait. Just one button, that's all. We'll speak with the person who is there in America. We can see also. These advancements and all, it will make people more and more foolish. And it will take away from God consciousness. That's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling. I'll complete this sentence. It causes one to forget his real identity by its glimmer. Every advancement, it has got some gleam, right? By its glimpse, what it will make? It will take the people away from the God consciousness. Then, actually, it's a doom for him. That's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling. This is a doom for him. Because this human form, Shri Radha Govind ki, Pita Goreng ki, Shil Prabhupada ki jai. This human form is meant for getting out of the material contamination. But the advancement is contaminating more and more. The thickness is increasing. The binding ropes for the living entity is increasing. By advancement of material knowledge, people are becoming more and more entangled in material existence. They have no hope of being liberated from this catastrophe. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote this in which time? In 19th century he has wrote. 1820 like that he has born. Till 18 something he is born. Till 1920 he is there. Those days, the technology used to be very less. Those days, by seeing that technology, he wrote this one. See, what about the current technology, you think? See, how the current technology is taking away the people from God consciousness. And it's making more and more this thing. Okay, Prabhuji, you are telling all these things. So, now we understood. Now, what we should do? Okay, all these things are okay, but what we should do for going without infecting this material consciousness, without infected or without disturbed by this material technology, what we should do? Then Uddhava is telling in Srimad Bhagavatam, my dear Krishna, I have taken which you have used. My dear Krishna, I have taken things which you have used and enjoyed, such as garlands of flowers, saintly articles, garments and ornaments. Uddhava used all his garments, ornaments, saintly articles, flower garlands, flowers, everything. After Krishna used the remnants, Uddhava used, it seems. And I ate only the remnants of your foodstuff. Uddhava ate only the remnants of Krishna's foodstuff. Because I'm your menial servant. Because I'm your menial servant, I did all these things. So, therefore, I am sure that I shall not be attacked by the spell of material energy. Because Uddhava is confirmed, is confident that you don't attack by the spell of material energy, because he was just using all these things, remnants of Krishna. He's just eating what Krishna left over in his foodstuff. And he's using his garments, what Krishna used, that garments Krishna uses and keeps aside, no, that garments Uddhava is using. Flower garlands also the same thing. That's why Uddhava is telling, I don't get afflicted by this material world. I don't get attacked by the spell of material energy. Is telling these things. Similar statement is there in Skanda Purana also. Persons who are decorated with the tilak of Gopi Chandan. Gopi Chandan, you know, no? A clay which is available in Gopi Kunda. In Panchadwarakas, one of the places it's available. And the Vrindavan mud also is okay. And marks their body with the clay all over his body, and chanting the holy names. And whose neck and breast the tulsi beads are there, and never approached. And I'll just read like this. Persons who are decorated with the tilaka or gopi chandan, and who are marked their bodies with all over with the holy names of the Lord, and on whose neck and breast there are tulsi beads, are never approached by Yamadutas. Yamadutas are constables, so to say, are soldiers of Yamaraja, who comes to this material world for taking the sinful living entities to Yamaloka and for punishing them. They are agents of Yamaraja, we can say. So, they don't come to devotees, because they are putting their tilak in their various bodily parts and they are wearing kantimala. Because of that, they don't come near to the devotees. Then, even Padma Purana also confirms the same thing. A person whose body is decorated with the pulp of sandalwood, with the paintings of the holy name, is delivered from all sinful reactions. And after death, he goes directly to Krishna Loka to live in association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. After all, it is telling, all the Puranas are telling, just become a devotee. And whatever is given by Srila Prabhupada, just wear kantimala, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, wear tilak, and nicely dressed, and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that also I told, and live in the association of the devotees. If you follow this one to some extent, then you don't attacked by the spell of the Maya. You don't get attacked by the spell of this material energy. So, I request all the devotees to follow this one. And if you lightly slacken also, the Maya is ready to capture you. If you lightly deviate from this path, Maya is ready. Immediately she is ready. Immediately she'll capture you and put under these things. Maya's two activities are that Prakshepatmaka Shakti, Avaranatmaka Shakti. I already told in my previous class. Yes or no? No? Okay. Prakshepatmaka Shakti means she'll pull down. And Avaranatmaka Shakti means she covers the knowledge. One example is that in the prison house, prisoners will be there. The jailer duty is that make sure that no prisoner will escape from the prison house. And his duty is that he has to punish them also. Then what he will do? Suppose a prisoner, he went to a wall, and because of some rope and these things, he just started climbing the wall, slowly. Then if jailer sees, what he will do? Just holds his leg and he pulls him down. First of all, he pulls him down. Later, with the lathi, all these things, he'll nicely beat him up and he'll put him in the jail. Yes or no? In the same way, Maya also, when you are going to Krishna consciousness, she holds your leg and she pulls you down. And she covers you with the knowledge. She covers your knowledge. How knowledge will be covered? We can see chanting. I think in my previous classes I told chanting how they'll come to one round. All these things will happen. She'll nicely cover you. You don't know that we are in Maya. Like that, slowly she'll cover and she'll put you in that same chair. Like that. These are the two duties of Maya, to put all the living entities in this material world. But if you take Saha, in these words, Saha eva lokasya, for getting people to deliver from this material world, Krishna comes again and again and he will deliver from this material world. In this Saha refers to Supreme Lord. If you observe carefully, the previous verse says, Tvamadya Purusha Sakshat, means the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the original personality of Godhead. That, to that point, in this verse, first word, letter Saha is connecting. Saha means, Prabhupada translated that transcendence, means that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the previous verse, Tamadya Purusha Sakshat. To that word, Ishvara Prakrute Paraha. To that sentences, it is connecting. That Supreme Lord, what he will do? Sayeva Jiva Lokasya Maya Mohita Chetasaha. Who are captivated like this by Maya and put it in this material world and they are suffering, to deliver them, Krishna will come to this material world, he perform his pastimes and he'll attract them. He'll attract them and he'll take them to back to Godhead. Shreyaha return to going back to Godhead. That is the ultimate good for the living entity. Prabhupada translated, no, Shreyaha means what? Ultimate good. What is that ultimate good? Going back to Godhead. And in the previous ages, it is mentioned, Shreyaha Dharma Adi Lakshanam. Even the Krishna is coming like that, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. By following these things also, one will slowly come to Krishna consciousness level. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us, this is called Purushartha, Chaturvida Purushartha. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave Panchama Purushartha. These are Chaturvida Purushartha, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. These are Chaturvida Purushartha. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no need to follow all these things. You just follow Panchama Purushartha. What is that? Krishna Bhakti is the Panchama Purushartha. Loving devotional service to Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is the Panchama Purushartha. Just by following that one thing, all other things will carry forward. All other things will follow this one. See, in the material world also, there are some laws. In the law also, in 2011 or 12, Nirbhaya case came, no? Nirbhaya case. That time, they have newly included some laws. Any woman, she complains on one man, no need to take so many these things, all these things and all. Those two laws are subsided all other laws. Yes or no? Actually, every state, they have got some rules and regulations in the law. Maybe some state laws different from other state laws. But they have released some uniform laws in India that will subside all other state laws and it will go up. In the same way, Panchama Purushartha subsided all other these things and it became higher, like that. And just by following that one thing will become, we can achieve the Shreyaha, ultimate good for human beings. And after achieving that, we'll become transcendentally happy. Transcendentally, this happiness we can taste. I'll stop here. If anybody has got one or two questions, I'll try to answer. Any questions? Yes. Hmm. Satyaloka, Lord Brahma is pure devotee. They are associating with pure devotees. See, it's up to them whether you are in Indraloka or Swargaloka or Satyaloka or Janaloka, whichever loka is there, it's the individuality of the person will be there. It is not forced that all will become devotees, that nowhere it is told like that. Because they have got so many these things, they get allured with these things. They'll get allured with these things, but for them better understanding is there than us. They are associated with the Brahma also in that way. But nowhere it is told that all of them are pure devotees or all of them are devotees. Even Swargaloka also, Indra will be captivated sometimes. Indra is not a pure devotee. Even he has got better facilities than us. Indra is not pure devotee. Indra is devotee, but is not pure devotee. But Brahma is pure devotee. Lord Brahma is pure devotee. They are associating with the pure devotees. If they associate correctly, slowly, they will also become pure devotees. But if they also didn't associate properly, they don't become devotees. They may become devotees, but they don't become pure devotees. That way.
Just like how we are right now associated with
Prabhupada, yes.
similarly, they are also associated
The Lord Brahma, yes. How we are associated with Srila Prabhupada? Yes, we are associated. But what extent you are associated? Are you following all the rules and regulations given by Srila Prabhupada? You are following, yes, to what extent you are following? Like that also. After associating also, you are keeping everything. Normally, it's very easy to surrender our body. Normally, we'll surrender ourselves. Yes, we are surrendered. But we don't surrender our mind. We don't surrender our ego. Mind also to certain extent will surrender, but we don't surrender our ego. Completely surrender means surrendering everything. Surrendering body, mind, intelligence, ego. Mind also to certain extent will surrender. But some portion is aloof, still we kept aside. Ego we don't surrender normally, in general cases. Most of us, we don't surrender our ego to Srila Prabhupada. How we'll know that we don't surrender our ego? If somebody says something, we don't just follow like that. If somebody, some senior devotee is guiding like that, we'll think, yes, maybe Prabhu is right, but something is there. That will think, no? If you are thinking means you are not surrendered your ego. For bhaktas, trainer is told, wash plate in this way. Why we have to wash in this way? We have not surrendered like that. We'll ask. Your thought will come, no? Even though we don't ask like that. When the thought is coming, you have not surrendered your ego. Including me. All of us, we have not surrendered our ego. Most of us, I cannot say all. Like that. We have not surrendered our ego. But purification is going on. That's why Prabhupada told, to 100% to become purified, it's very difficult. 100% to become in this material world, very, very difficult. That's why one devotee asked, Prabhupada, I don't think so I can become pure devotee. I can mostly become purified 70 to 80%. What will happen to me? Prabhupada, what he said? What he said? I have a key for back door. I'll open for you. Don't worry. In that case, yes. Prabhupada, mercifully for his disciples, he has given that thing. If you become perfect, at least 70%, Prabhupada will take you back to Godhead. Like that. In the same way, Satyaloka also, they are not pure devotees. Whether they have surrendered their ego, all these things, we don't know. We cannot comment also. Like that, because they are not pure devotees, Some of them again they'll take birth.
But going to Satyaloka, so many merits are required. So in that, is there any requirement of devotion also?
Pious merits are required. See, devotional service fulfills everything I told. By doing devotional service also, if you get a desire, you want to go to Satyaloka, you'll go to Satyaloka. You have desire, but you are doing devotional service to Krishna. You have a desire to go to Satyaloka. Then your desire will be fulfilled and you'll go to Satyaloka. Like that. But no devotional merit is required for going to Satyaloka. It's not required.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణవాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణవాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి 9133107700. హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణవాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు